Welcome to Part 5 of Legend of the Nuka Slugger. This series uses the Fallout Wasteland warfare game system to follow the exploits of the Nuka Slugger, a psychopathic wasteland denizen who loves nothing but baseball and Nuka-Cola. Part 5 begins with the Slugger standing outside a sealed vault with a gunner commander. She briefs him on today's mission. We found a junction box nearby that we can overload and pop this door open. Once that happens, though, the residents can manually close it again. The junction box is far enough away that we won't be able to get back in time before they can seal it back up, so you've got to wait here, jump in the moment the door pulls away, and keep them from flipping that switch. Got it? Makes sense. Why don't you just have one guy at the junction box and the rest of you is here? The junction box is in the middle of a mirelurk nest. We're going to be dealing with that while you get to sit on your ass and wait for the door to pop. Does that sate your tactical curiosity? Works for me. Have fun with the lurks. Here's the setup for the scenario. This time, the top floor of a small vault. The entrance leads into a combo kitchen and cafeteria area. Southeast of that, there's a storage room. In the northwest corner, there's a utility room with a power generator, crates, and a computer bank. In the northeast corner, there's a small residential section. If you don't remember from the previous 4 parts of this series, the Slugger just uses the Veteran Raider unit card. Instead of using the normal Veteran Raider equipment, though, he has a custom loadout. He's got a baseball bat and the Big Leagues perk for getting into melee. And as a ranged attack option, he's got a single baseball grenade and a baseball cap. Defending the vault from incursion are one normal vault dweller with a 10mm pistol, and a vault security officer with a baton and a combat shotgun. Nice and easy with their default kit. Their objective is to reach the door seals. In order to do that, they need to interact with 2 terminals, one in the northwest corner of the maintenance wing, and the other in the southeast in the storage area. As part of the security protocol triggered by the main door opening, these 2 doors have been locked. Once one of the terminals has been interacted with, they will unlock. The dwellers start out in the residential area. Unaware of the danger outside, they're roused to action by the alarms blaring as the door unseals. With all that set, the game starts. The door pops open and grinds out of the way. "Batter up!" smirks the Slugger as he steps into the vault's dusty entryway. To start out turn 1, the Slugger gets up to the closest door and opens it. For this scenario, opening doors is a free action, but it has to be done before, between, or after an action. A model can't start a move, reach the door, open it, and end up on the other side of it in a single action. On the dweller side, the officer activates first. With their first action, they're able to reach the first door and open it. With their second action, they sprint into the hallway. I randomized which objective they're going towards, and the officer is going for the terminal in the maintenance wing. The dweller decides to go after the terminal in the storage area and jets forward. To kick off turn 2, the Slugger moves up through the cafeteria to come face to face with the dwellers. "I'm sliding in to steal home," he yells. With that, the Slugger lobs his baseball grenade just between the 2 dwellers. It rolls 3 damage, but both of the dwellers roll their maximum armor, resulting in 2 damage taken by the dweller and only 1 on the officer. The security officer countercharges, and their baton swing lands true. The Slugger's armor fails to block any damage, so he takes 2. The dweller scooches past the melee, but is just shy of being able to open the door. The Slugger realizes that he can't just let that pencil-neck dweller pass to do whatever it is he's going to do, so he breaks engagement and moves to intercept. Since he started the turn engaged, he can't charge, which is unfortunate because it means he won't get an extra die on his attack. The officer gets a parting swat, which would have been 4 big damage if it hadn't missed wildly. The officer did also have a prepare token, so they used that to quickly move up and close the distance with the Slugger. After all that, the Slugger gets to swing. With exactly 2 damage and 1 armor break, the 2 damage goes through and the dweller is out of here. "You'll pay for that," the officer yells stereotypically. Despite their big talk, the officer actually decides that they're going to run for the objective instead. So they book it and run for the objective. As turn 4 starts, the initiative also switches over from the Slugger to the officer, since both sides have only a single model now. So the officer gets to continue their sprint and gets to the terminal, but doesn't have an action left to activate it. The Slugger gives chase to close out turn 4. As turn 5 begins, the Slugger regains the initiative and charges into the officer. Realizing that there's basically no way to get these terminals online with some wild man from the Wasteland wailing on them, the officer turns to fight. Their first swat with the baton hits and gets past the Slugger's armor, putting another 2 damage on him. The second swing is a miss. Turn 6 rolls around and the initiative switches back, giving the officer 2 more swings. His first is a good hit, and an extra damage has the Slugger facing down 3, which would be enough to knock him out. Fortunately for him, his armor die rolls his precise armor value. This means that instead of being tagged out entirely, he's unscathed. The officer's second swing is also a dangerous 3 damage roll, but misses narrowly. Now it's the Slugger's turn to get some swats in. His first one connects for 2 damage, which goes unblocked. The second hit connects, but only results in a single damage, which bonks harmlessly off the officer's helmet. At the top of the 7th turn, the Slugger swings hard. He connects, and with an extra damage and armor break, he leaves the officer in an unfortunate situation of needing to roll a 1 on the armor die or drop. The officer rolls a 2, which would have been perfect if it were not for the armor break, so he crumples to the ground. And that's a wrap on the scenario. The Vault Dwellers didn't even get to a single objective, and the vault is open and ripe for the picking. "Nice work," says the gunner commander. "You want to stick around and loot this place with us?" "Nah, I've got my own thing going on, so give me my caps and I'll be on my way," replies the Slugger. Once properly compensated, he leaves the vault behind and disappears down the road. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. There are not many more scenarios planned out before the season finale, so keep an eye out for them. Coming soon. Stay safe out there in the Wasteland.